Woo! Yay! It's me, KP. I'm here in my studio, the Moon and the Maker, home of Art Foamies, and I'm here for ArtFoamies Fun Friday. And I hope you are too. I'm going to see who's here because, I like to say hello. Stephanie, Catherine, Kay, who else? Diana. You're all chatty. Rini is here. Diana, hope you're feeling well and back to your good old self. Carmen Jones is here. Nice to see you. Rini, I hope I said your name because I already can't remember. Cecilia, Nancy Gray, Patty is here. Megan, oh my gosh, Linda Finney, yay, Carissa, oh my goodness, we have a full house. Anita is here. Deb Peak, Karen Mooney, I've missed you so much. Ellen, welcome. Oh my gosh. All right, I hope I did not miss anyone. If I did, you know that I would never intentionally leave you out. I'm so happy to see you. I look forward to ArtFoamies Fun Friday every single Friday. I want you to know. And I have all of a sudden a lot of excitement going on. I think my daughter is supposed to arrive soon. One of my daughters. She's here now. Hi, Rinabina. And so all the activities happening at once. Jan Bryant, welcome. Yeah, I know. You know what? Let me try to pull this down. It looks like it's all crazy in here. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm in a nightclub or something. And yes, it's a lot of glare. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. I'm trying to, maybe that's a little better for now. I'll have to fix everything back up when I turn the camera around. Jack and Dana are here. Estrella. Oh my goodness. All right. Thanks for joining in. It's going to be a quick one tonight. And I also want to let you know that we are not having the after party this evening. We do have a special Makey on my Patreon tomorrow. So please, if you're a Moonie and you are, let's see, I'm trying to look at the schedule. It's a Crescent Moonies and above we're going to have Super Sculpey Saturday. So I hope that you'll join me. Oh, thank you. I made this, Diana. It's a little bit off, as you can see, but I made this with the bleach technique. Yeah, thank you, Jan. Thanks for saying something. I was looking at it before I came live, and I was like, yeah, Christina, hello, Roberta. Okay, so I'm going to turn the camera around. I do have stuff to chat about, but I'm going to turn the camera around while I do that. Of course, if you have any questions or thoughts while I'm, chatting, you can type it in the comments. Mr. Min is going to be watching and helping moderate. So if you need anything, let us know. We do have a special code for those of you who are watching tonight. This is going to be sort of like a little flash sale, I guess you could say, for those of you who are on the live. If you want to have a juicy little discount over at artfoamies.com, you're going to use the code AFF23, and that is good for 23% off on artfoamies.com. We also are running a special on our ArtFoamies USA Etsy shop, 15% off, no code needed. And the reason for that I will tell you about as I begin my little Rolodexy demo. We're going to have a little Rolodexy demo this evening. And I'm also going to do a little face demonstration again because we are celebrating Face a Day February still. And we are doing 100-day project. We're just makey around here. Okay. So, and we're also doing Rolodexes. I know it's a lot of projects, but you know what? I got to keep busy. And creating and getting makey is the only thing that keeps me halfway sane. I'm not going to lie. So a couple demos tonight. Okay. First, we are going to talk about Rolodexes. And obviously, that's just the cute little name I made up for Rolodex art. Okay, lots and lots of people do Rolodex art online. As you know, Stencil Girl just came out with some club stencils for Rolodex art. I have seen a lot. I think one of the gel place, I can't remember if it's Jelly Art or Gel Press, is doing some kind of jelly decks. Okay, so lots of people doing Rolodex stuff. In our group, we're doing Rolodexes, and we have all sorts of fun ideas to create your Rolodex cards. And I was going to show you how to pull out a couple of your imprint pads and make some very fast, fun, and effective Rolodex cards, okay? So let's do that first. And again, if you have not yet seen our Etsy shop, we do have an Etsy. It's ArtFoamies USA. We will share the link here. Again, it's 15% off. And the reason we're running that is because we do have a custom art foamy program over there. If you would like to have a custom art foamy made, and I'm going to show you one that I created for myself in order to share this idea and project with you. Okay. So anyway, just to share with you a few little samples. Now this is the smaller size Rolodex card. It is a 2 1/4 by 4. Okay. And I did for these use our little Rolodex, what did I call foamy decks? Okay. So, and then these are done with imprint pads. So quick and effective and super cute and also fun to create, especially if you want to make a whole bunch at once, okay? Now, maybe these are not your finished cards. Maybe this is just your base layer where you can add some other bits of fodder or little bits of business to your Rolodex card, okay? But I'm going to Yes, thank you so much, Patty. Patty says, I've had 2 custom art foamies made and the quality and details are amazing. And I think Catherine is here also. She can speak to that. She had something very special created this past Christmas time. Okay, so let's make our first Rolodexy. And I am, excuse me, going to pull out a piece of watercolor paper. This is 140-pound hot press watercolor paper. It's just a student grade paper. Okay, I'm not using anything too fancy. I'm going to take my foamy decks, and as you can see, I've already done a little design on it. If I want to start fresh, I can clean that off and begin again. But I'm going to go ahead and just use what I have on there. I'm going to spray it with a little water. You've seen me do that a million times. I'm going to take some of my Derwent ink tent sticks. I can also use watercolor crayons. I can also use watercolor straight from my palette, okay? Straight from the palette like this. So I'm going to start with a couple Derwents. Again, I gave it a little spritz, and I'm just going to squish on some color, okay, here and there. And if it seems dry, just spritz it again. And we're going to just, you know, you can do all sorts of abstract-y stuff, whatever. Just have fun. It's fun to take your favorite colors and scribble. You could also put little lines. You could, oh gosh, all sorts of stuff. You could use your stencils. You know, it's called Getting Makey. Trying to find another color over here. Here, wait, I need to turn on one more light. Ugh. Dark in the corner, you know, especially since I had to shut my curtain. Maxie, oh yes, I haven't had a chance to talk about Maxie. I said one of my daughters was here. That's my middle daughter. She came to visit, and I'm so excited to see her. I know you were all here last week when the kids came, but it goes by so quick, and we didn't really get a chance to visit too much. So yes, Maxie has not been feeling well, and she is been under the weather. I miss you so much, Maxie. We are really not the same around here without you. Please get well. And more. What is the purpose of Rolodexies? Oh, Bernadette, yes. Thank you for jumping on. You didn't miss much. Don't worry. We're just getting started. Maxie's online. Hi, Maxie. Sorry. Rena says hi. Okay, so Ann Moore says, what is the purpose of Rolodexies? Well, let me go ahead and stamp this, and I will talk about it. So Rolodex, as you know, is a form of keeping track of your contacts. Okay, Rolodex holders come in all different sizes, and many of them are vintage. Well, most of them are vintage because I don't really think they actually make Rolodex holders per se anymore. But they are a great way to keep track of your small art. And I am really loving it as just a fun project and a way, again, to keep track of things like ATC cards, oh gosh, contacts, but in a really fun way. So I'll show you some of the Rolodexes that I've created. And again, I really enjoy making small art. Okay, and so here I just have this fun little abstract, and of course I could manipulate that further. I can continue to layer it if I feel like I want to smush it with color just a little bit more. Just re-wet it again and give it another little squish. Okay, and so that is one side of my card. I'm going to go ahead and cut it out, and of course you can use your slicer or your chopper. I'm going to go ahead and just use my scissors and sort of eyeball it. Anyway, in answer to your question, Anne, one of the things that I personally really enjoy is creating small pieces of art and sort of just, I've always been an ATC maker. I've always been somebody who enjoys just little snippets of art and collage. It's a great way to keep track of your ideas. And I didn't think of this. This is something that's been going around for quite some time. Off and on. I think it's sort of trending again right now. Yes, Megan. And so I did, and I'm going to share that with you as well. I'm going to be offering and sharing a small class on the ATC holder. Anyway, and of course, if you do not have a punch, you can use the foamy decks gives you where you're supposed to cut your slots, or your notches. So if you do not have a punch, you can fussy cut these, and it should work just fine. Okay, I do have the Heidi Swap punch, and that does fit the 4 by 2 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and slide that right in. These are also great for swapping. And then the other side, this is where I'm going to sort of just promote and talk about doing your own custom ArtFoamy. I thought it would be really fun and great to have my information to fit on the back of one of the smaller. In fact, I do want to make one for one of the larger cards as well, but I'm just going to show you this for now. And this fits on this size. And then it has all of my information. Yes, Rini also made a great point. She says, a good point to Rolodex these is that sometimes it's hard to commit to art every day. And because they're not huge, it's doable. Yeah, so it's much more like making a little ATC card. And there you have it. It has my little information for the back. And ta-da, it's all ready to go. If I wanted to, of course, embellish it further, I can. Can also do stuff like use my little corner punch and make it just a little cuter. Okay, and then as you can see, for some of these others, I do like to make them a little bit taller. If you have a Rolodex holder that's open on top, you can make them taller, and so you can make your cards different sizes and even different shapes. Here I've added one of my girls to the top, and then you can really layer your pieces, which looks really cute in the Rolodex holder. Here's my little one from Etsy. That was a gift from my friend Linda, and it does fit the 2 1/4 by 4s. And, and I'm not keeping all these for myself. I want you to know. I'm making these to share. But anyway, so, excuse me, let me put these in just to show you. You can, and again, I don't know how many of you I've said this to in our chats or in our makeys, but I just love to be able to walk by and see all of the artwork. Some of my friends have sent me some really beautiful Rolodexy cards. Look at that. And this is, I just love it. I just want to share this with you because it's so cute. You can get different dyes and things like that. Obviously not from ArtFoamies, but just online, different places. So this is sort of, like I said, it's been a trend. And it seems like it's getting popular again. ArtFoamies are wonderful because you can make them, you know, so effective and pretty quickly too, you know. Anyway, I'm going to share with you a couple other ways to make some at least base layers really, really quickly, okay? Let's see. Yes, regular slot punches don't work. The only one I know of for that size is the Heidi Swap. I know it gets a little confusing because there are a lot of options. Okay, so I'm going to just pull out, excuse me, a couple of the imprint pads. This is the Love, Love, Love. And then this one is called Dots of Dashes. Okay, so I have, again, just a sheet of the same type of paper that I was just using. Again, it's a watercolor paper, nothing too fancy. I like to use sort of a, you know, a student grade paper for this just because it's not too precious. Okay, and so I am going to take my scrap buddies. I have a few here. Let me grab a couple here. Shoot, where did I put those? I thought I had a bunch already ready to go, and now I don't know what happened to them. So I'm going to have to start fresh. All right, so I have a couple scrap buddies here. All right, and I'm going to cut them in half. And you've seen me do this many times, all right? I'm going to use my Moon Glow dye, extra bright dye reinkers. And I'm just going to put a little bit right on my scrap buddies. Get them all ready here. Just four colors, but you get some really beautiful combinations. I have Pink Crush, I have Coral Fire, Blue Moon, and Yellow Yellow Sunshine. That's what it is. Yeah, the square punch is not big enough. There is no punches on the market for it that I know of for any of the other than the Heidi Swap, and then the old Rolodex ones that are super hard to find. Carissa says, curious, what do people get when they get a custom foamy, if you don't mind sharing? So when you order a custom foamy, you will order it from our Etsy shop, okay? And all of the information should be there. They range from $25 and up for your custom art foamy. So one like this would be approximately $25 to $30 about, and you would receive your art or your design, you know what, on an art foamy. Okay, it's pretty self-explanatory if you do read the listing, but of course we are here to help assist you with, you know, with any questions or even, you know, technical help if you need to. All right. So yes, Bernadette says you can use a regular hole punch. Lots of videos online. So that is true. You can use a hole punch and use your little scissors to snip those little slots, you know, but they do obviously have to fit on the tracks of your Rolodex, okay, or on your whatever they call these, the little treads, or I can't think of what these are at, rails, okay? They need to fit on the rails. And then here I will show and share with you one that I created from just sort of looking and figuring stuff out, is a little ATC holder just for my ATC cards. And I did not punch I didn't really punch these. I actually made little tabs, okay, well, these were I didn't make all of them. These were purchased business card adapters, and then I also made my own. Okay, so it's a really nice way to not punch into your artwork if you put the little tabs on there, and you can make it out of Yupo paper. Okay, so really fun project. And for those of you who you know, are into making this stuff, join me on Patreon. We get makey 5 days a week. All right, some people, that's too much Makeys. I think some people don't want to get Makey that much, but I do, and I hope you do too. All right, so I'm just taking, again, excuse me, some of my Moon Glow inks here, and I'm just spreading it right across my imprint pads, okay? And of course, you can blend your colors. You can want to make my hearts maybe a little purple, so I'm going to mix some of that blue and pink. And you can get some really, really nice sort of gradients and just fun colors. You've seen me do this. All right, I'm just going to take now, first I need to clean my fingers and make sure that they're not all inky. They probably are. All right, so here again is my paper. I'm just going to take the paper to the imprint pad. And the great thing about doing it this way, okay, a couple things. I can now take my other imprint pad and smush it up and then just stamp it right on there and have the front and back done at the same time. Or the other thing I enjoy doing is pulling this up, okay? Ooh, it's so pretty. And then just going ahead and plopping it back down and getting a paler color on the other side. You could also take a little bit of white ink, okay, a little bit of my Moonlight Duo ink, and smush it across and get just a little bit more of a pastel-y color, you know, pastel-y. Oops, I didn't mean to do that, but you you get the idea. You can get some more pastel colors by doing, I'm going to end up getting mud if I continue on that way. I'm being lazy, okay? Really what I should do is tap this way so that I'm not smearing all that. But anyway, you can get a more pastel-y palette, and you can also just stamp the other side and make really quick work of it. You're getting both sides done at the same time. Okay, again, a little more pastel. And then I can just cut whatever size card I want. Okay, so if I want a 5x3, I can do that. If I want a 4 by 2 1/4, I can do that. I can get multiples out of this. So let's just go ahead. I'm going to trim it down. And, you know, I am admittedly going a little bit fast. I could go a little slower and make sure that I have it all covered really nicely. Although, again, it doesn't really matter if it's my base layer. Let's see, I want to do 4. So let's trim this up this way. So I definitely could get 2 out of it for sure. 5x3s. I'm making smaller cards right now. So it's just, and again, if I don't have to make it 2 1/4. I can make it a little taller if I want to. All right, actually I'll make a tall one and a shorter one. And then I still have extra goodness for, oh gosh, for strip club or for my journal or for lots of other little projects, okay? So don't throw that scrap away. God forbid. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're just going to punch these. All right, and round our corners. And again, if I know that I'm going to be sending one of the Rolodex cards to somebody that has also an open Rolodex, then I could send them this taller one. And look, the backs are already done. I also do love to add things like, oh, where did I put that? I just had some stickers. Maybe we want to add some cute little stickers. I don't know how many of you know, I also have a little sticker shop, so I might as well plug that while I'm here. And for those of you who ever are on the Moon and the Maker, I do have some really cute stickers. Oh, I think this sun is perfect. So let's go ahead, because you know I love a good rainbow. So and of course, it's going to give me fits. It's going to take longer to get the backing off the sticker than it is to make the Rolodex card. Oh, goodness. Okay. Now, when I think I have it, I don't. There we go. Maybe? Yay. All right. So, oh my goodness, look how cute that is. Anyway, Rolodex City, in just a few minutes, you can have so many cards ready to go. All right. I had a lot of fun. I don't know how many of you ordered on the 17th and 18th of February, but everybody that ordered on those days got a handmade Rolodex card by moi. And I had such a great time making them. So Anne says, I'm having trouble with getting my 4 bright stamps from ArtFoamies to dry. I made a card a couple days ago, and after 48 hours, the ink still smears. Is it this ink, Anne? It does stay a little sticky. So if it depends on what kind of paper that you used. And also, yes, it will not. I am so sorry to say, most stuff does not actually really dry on there. Acrylic, of course, will. But there's a lot of mediums and inks, especially if it's pigment or oil-based, that will not dry on those. So yes, I'm sorry, because they're not absorbent at all. All right, so I also wanted to share with you again. I know I have talked a lot about Face a Day February. This is my 8th year doing Face a Day. So of course I did create the 3 faces recently, sort of in celebration of Face a Day, because I said, you know, I should have some face art foamies for Face a Day February. So I made them. I have been really enjoying playing with them. Many of you have seen me do you know, quite a few little demonstrations using them. So I thought I would pull them out again. Here's a couple of the faces got a little overworked, but I did have a lot of fun playing with the same 3 faces and just stamping them again and again and just painting them in different ways. So these 3 faces are the 3 girls. And then this one is the more rounded face girl. Okay. So here you have one with her eyes closed. That's her right here. Okay. And she has the stripes on her neck. You have one with a headband and sort of the hair falling to the front. That's this one right here. And then you have the more rounded face girl. Okay. And I love her. I really enjoy painting her. And so I thought, of course, she had to be a Frida. So let's have a little fun. I'm going to show you how I made this. I did do a little time-lapse video today as well. So if you had a chance to see that, you probably can pretty much figure it out. But we're going to make it together. It just takes a couple minutes, and or maybe a few minutes, I don't know. And that's going to be our makey for today, okay? So again, I am using one of the 3 girls, and I am using, once again, 140-pound hot press watercolor paper. It is just a student grade paper, nothing too fancy or expensive, okay? But I recommend this for stamping and doing like Rolodexes. But if you really want to paint, or you're doing something a little more serious that you know, would like to, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you know, I always love working on a nice high quality paper as well. But for this, we're just going to use a nice, you know, it's very similar, I would say, to like, I don't know, a Bristol or just a mixed media paper. Okay. So again, I have my little girl stamp. I'm going to get my graphite stick here. And this one is sort of just a medium. It's not a super dark graphite, okay? And I'm going to load her up with a little water there and give her a nice little graphite rub. Carissa says, I don't do the Rolodexy yet, despite Enabler KP's insistence, but could use those she just made before punched, or can trim off the bottom. Yes, definitely. You know, if you, and also keep in mind, Carissa, we are doing some swaps in our group, and you can always say that you don't want them punched, okay? And you can turn it into an ATC or something like that. All right, here she is stamped, and now I am just going to take my my Stabilo All, my black Stabilo All. Okay, and here you can see right on there it says Stabilo All, and then it says for paper, glass, plastic, and metal. I'm going to go ahead and sharpen this up just a little bit. All right, and then I am going to go in and give her a little bit of an outline, all right, because I don't want her hair to be long. Now remember, if I stamp her this way, oops, can't even see that. Let me do it again. If I stamp her like that, you can see, you can bring her hair to the foreground, okay? And you can make her hair going in front of her shoulders, okay? But I don't want to do that. I am going to sort of block out the back a little bit. And I sort of wish that I would have stamped her just a little bit lighter. And here I'm going to sort of construct her hair that way, okay? And we're gonna, and that's not really a Frida hairdo. You can even bring it up a little more if you want to give her a Frida hairdo, you know, and you can color in with your black, or of course you can do more with your watercolor, but I want this really dark line to be covered up. And remember, the Stabilo is very water soluble and very dark, okay? And then here I'm going to also give her a little outline that way. And then I gave her a little like yoke, okay? And of course you can maybe look at some pictures of Frida even to just get an idea of maybe what her clothing would look like, you know. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and go in with a little bit of watercolor here. I do have my watercolor palette over here to the side, if you can see that. I'm going to give her a little wash of color on her face, avoiding her eye area. Go down into her neck, just avoiding around her eye, or around the whites of her eyes. And then I'm going to go in with some burnt sienna color, and I'm just going to put that down. Kind of avoid her nose a little bit too, just so I can leave a little highlight on her nose. All right, and so now while her face is kind of drying, okay, because I want her face to dry, I'm going to avoid all that, and I'm going to just go around the outside with my round. This is one of my ArtFoamy basics, okay? I'm going to spray it with some water. Spritz over here on the side. Okay, you can see I got water on that. I'm going to dry off the center. I just want the outside to be a little bit wet. And I'm going to take my graphite again, or you can take any color that you want. Or you could use your Derwent, you know, sticks if you want there too. I just want a little outline. And I'm going to put that bottom right up to the bottom of her bust, okay? And that's just going to give me a nice little outline, okay? Just a soft outline. Now I'm going to go in, let me switch brush sizes, just whatever color that you want. Here, of course, I used green. Let's do I want to do something a little bit darker. I think I'm going to use phthalo just so I can cover up those lines behind her a little bit better. Okay, it would be fun too. You could also turn her into an angel if you wanted to. That would be fun. Give her a couple little wings there, but I'm not going to for now. But definitely could do that and utilize some of that little gray coloration behind her. Just darkening that up too to sort of meet the value so that kind of covers up just a little bit more. And I'm just letting it kind of be gradient, a little gradient. All right, and let that dry, and we'll go back over here and we'll sort of work in her hair a little bit, just smushing it with a little water, because remember, all that Stabilo is water soluble. It's very dark, so just also be careful because you don't necessarily want it to be bleeding into your background, so just sort of work carefully on that. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead, let's make her flower. We'll do it quinacridone magenta. And then again, I'm going to leave that to dry. Oh, Maxie, honey, it's okay. Don't worry. I can go back and look at the comments too. Yes, Catherine, I'm so sorry. Is it Tina? Your sister Tina? All right, so you know that obviously Frida has the eyebrows, right? So I'm going to, again, you'd want to make sure that the face is very dry, but I'm going to go ahead and take and give her the eyebrow, okay? And we're just going to give her the big unibrow. And right away, that just changes her into Frida, pretty much, right? I can also, now I can do a little bit of that with my pencil, lining the eye, giving her a little bit of, that darker pupil. But I do want to say, if I'm going to do it with my Stabilo, I do want to make sure it's to a good point. These are very soft and can be a little bit tricky to work with and, do some things that you may not want. Okay, so just be careful with it and know it can be a little bit temperamental. So here I'm going to give her the outline, and again, just little pupils, the outline and her pupil. All right, and then we're also going to go ahead and give that center mouth line and a couple darker nostrils. And then I'm going to go ahead and give her mouth color, which I'm using a permanent alizarin crimson. Switch brushes again, a little bit smaller of a brush. You can also use that same color for her cheek color. Just make sure to really water it down a little bit. All right, and again, I'm going to just go and give a couple washes right over that gray. A little more teal. And then if you want to, you know, give it a little more decorative whatever, rather than just keep it, you know, in that little circle. I think an oval would also be nice, but I'm just going to take a little bit more opaque watercolor here, and we'll just give her a couple little, it would be fun to, you know, Frida loved animals, so it'd be really fun to, you could use some of your art foamies or some of your stamps, or you could freehand paint, excuse me, whatever you want, but it would be really cute to stamp some animals with her. You could also have her smoking a cigarette, you know, she has lots of photos of her smoking the old stogie, you know. Anyway, here I am going to give her just a little bit more. Now she looks really sweet and sort of innocent here. I'm going to give her just a little bit more of an upper eyelid. Few little washes to just give her a little more shading, a little neutral gray here. And I also want to throw a little blue up here. And of course, you know, that little gleam in the eye really helps. I like to use a little paint pen. You can use a little gouache. I just put a little blob of white with my paint pen, and then we'll just put a little highlight. Oops. A little more than that. The nice thing, if you get it too big, you can always, you know, knock it back a little bit. And we're going to we'll write it because I think it looks cute. Viva la Frida. Or you could, you know, write Ti amo, whatever. You get the idea. And since I got a nice little blob right here, I could either cut that off, or of course we'll just cover it with a little heart. How about that? And there you have it. You have your sweet little round cherub-faced girl turned into a little cute caricature of Frida. And you know, I'm very inspired because I am doing 100-day project. I am still finishing up Face a Day February. I'm very inspired to try this girl to see if I can get other, you know, other recognizable characters out of it. So I'm going to give it a go. So be watching our Instagram pages and of course following along. I do want to mention coming up that we are going to be having Mandala March coming in March. And so we will be doing a lot of mandalas and talking about a lot of mandalas. I have a lot of fun projects involving art foamies and rubber stamps and stencils, excuse me, to create mandalas. If you're interested in creating mandalas with us, please make sure that you get one of these art foamies. Okay, this is going to be very helpful. We're going to be using it a lot throughout the month if you don't already have it. Excuse me again. These are super useful anyway. So sometimes even if you have one, I may recommend that you order a second one. I use especially this all the time, but I do use many of these pieces for lots of stuff. So grab yourself a concentric circles and take advantage of our flash sale. Remember, it's AFF23, and you're going to want to get whatever art foamies you know, that are on your list, because next week, okay, I'm going to turn the camera around so I can tell you about this. Next week, let me turn this off and see if I can. Next week, we are going to be having a pop-up, Art Foamies pop-up shop Okay, so it's very exciting. We have somebody that you're going to love. The artwork is amazing. I'm super excited about it. It's only going to be for 1 week. This is not going to be an artist that is with ArtFoamies, okay? This is a special artist that is only designed a handful of images that are going to be available for 1 week, okay? So watch for our pop-up shop. It's going to start next Friday. All right. So I hope you'll all show back up for ArtFoamy Fun. I also want to let you all know, for those of you who are Moonies, we are not going to have a after party tonight. Okay. I want to go visit with Marin, and I'm going to take off the rest of the night. I hope I will see you, my Mooney friends, for our Sculpey Clay Saturday tomorrow. I thank you again for being here, as I always do. You know the deal. Stay safe, stay sane, stay makey, and get your art foamies and play this weekend, okay? Love you to the moon and back. Thanks for joining me. Bye, everyone.